Welcome back, Truth Seekers, to another episode of the True Alien Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Smith, and I'm here with the amazing Julia Jones, our resident paranormal probe expert.
Hey everyone, ready for another wild ride into the unexplained?
You bet. Today we're diving headfirst into a story that's as mind-bending as it is unsettling.
Ooh, I love those.
It's about a classified testimony from a person known only as Witness 749 for something called Project Chronos Anomaly. And let me tell you, folks, this one's got it all. Time travel, alternate dimensions, and beings that might be manipulating our reality like it's a cosmic video game.
What's really intriguing about this case, Adrian, is that it's not just some internet rumor or a late-night campfire story. This comes from declassified government documents, actual reports, and testimonies that suggest something truly strange might be going on just beneath the surface of our everyday lives.
Exactly. Okay, so set the scene for us. We're talking 2047, right? Witness 749 is being interviewed by a Dr. Evelyn Hayes, who works for this super-secret chronometric anomalies division. Just the name sends shivers down my spine.
And right from the start, the report mentions that Witness 749's voice is distorted, like there's this faint echo to it, a temporal echo, they call it.
Okay, that's creepy right off the bat. Do they explain what might cause that kind of distortion?
Not specifically, but you have to wonder if it's a side effect of whatever this witness experienced. It hints at some kind of disruption or disturbance in the very fabric of time. Think about it. If time is like a river, what would happen if something caused ripples or eddies in that flow?
I'm already getting goosebumps. So what does Witness 749 actually say happened?
Well, they start by describing this strange static, but it's not the kind you hear from a radio. It's like reality itself was crackling and popping in the air, shimmering and fragmenting. Imagine looking around and seeing your world, everything, just start to glitch.
That's terrifying, like a bad trip without the drugs. So what happens next?
Things get even weirder. Witness 749 describes experiencing shifts, which they explain as overlaps or glitches in the temporal stream. Picture walking down the street and suddenly seeing flashes of other times and places, not memories, but like echoes of alternate realities bleeding through.
Hold on, echoes of other realities, like literally seeing other timelines.
That's what they claim. These echoes become more vivid, more concrete over time. Witness 749 describes seeing glimpses of a futuristic city with towering structures made of crystal reaching into a sky filled with multiple moons. They even talk about forests made of metal with leaves that shimmered with some kind of internal light.
Okay, now we're talking full-blown science fiction. Was there any mention of, aliens or extraterrestrials in these other realities?
That's where it gets really interesting. Witness 749 describes encountering beings they call temporal architects, entities that weren't human but something far more complex, almost like living holograms. And these beings were observing Witness 749 during these temporal shifts.
Wait a minute, temporal architects. So they're not just observing these glitches in time, they're actually controlling them. They're the ones causing these bleed-throughs to happen.
That's the implication. And the way Witness 749 describes it, it's like these beings are treating our reality like a simulation or a giant experiment.
So we're basically lab rats to these temporal architects.
Yeah.
It's a pretty unsettling thought.
It definitely challenges our perception of reality, and it makes you wonder, if they can manipulate time like that, what else are they capable of, and what are their motives? Are they benevolent observers, or are they something more sinister?
This is getting intense, folks.
Yep.
And we're just scratching the surface of this mind-blowing testimony. Stick with us for more on Project Chronos Anomaly and the truly chilling implications of what Witness 749 reveals.
This is going to be good. So we're back and digging even deeper into the mysteries surrounding Witness 749 and Project Chronos Anomaly.
I'm still reeling from the idea that these so-called temporal architects could be manipulating time right under our noses.
It's a mind-boggling concept, right? And it gets even weirder. Witness 749's testimony goes on to describe how these architects are actually seeding our timelines with paradoxes.
Okay, seeding our timelines with paradoxes. Come again. I'm not sure I follow.
Well, imagine them introducing deliberate inconsistencies into the flow of time, little glitches that defy logic and our understanding of cause and effect. It's like they're setting up these temporal puzzles just to see how we react, how we try to make sense of the impossible.
So they're messing with time just to see what happens, like some kind of cosmic science experiment. I mean, could that explain some of the unexplained phenomena we see in our world, like spontaneous human combustion or the Bermuda Triangle?
Precisely. What if those events are the result of these temporal architects tweaking the timeline just a smidge, throwing in these anomalies to see what happens?
Okay, now that's just creepy. The idea that history might not be as straightforward as we think it is, that there might be these unseen hands messing with a timeline.
It definitely makes you question everything, and it gets even more bizarre. According to Witness 749, the manipulation goes even deeper. They describe encountering their future self during one of these temporal bleed-throughs.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a minute. They met their future self. How is that even possible?
It sounds crazy, right? But that's what the testimony says. And it gets weirder. They also describe coming into contact with temporal artifacts, objects or technologies that shouldn't exist in our current timeline.
Okay, now you're just messing with me. Objects from the future. Like what? A flying car. A self-folding laundry machine.
We can only speculate, but it definitely raises some fascinating questions. If these temporal artifacts exist, have any of them already slipped into our timeline? Are there objects hidden away in museums or private collections that are actually remnants of future technology?
My brain is starting to hurt, but there's something I don't get. If Witness 749 had all these encounters and even saw these artifacts in the future, why doesn't everyone remember these temporal shifts? Shouldn't there be more evidence, more people coming forward with similar stories?
That's where it gets really unsettling. According to Witness 749, after each encounter, they were reset, their memories wiped clean. It's like these temporal architects are covering their tracks, erasing any conscious awareness of the manipulation.
So they're playing with time, messing with our memories, and then just hitting the delete button. That's some seriously creepy stuff.
It's definitely a disturbing thought. But even with the memory wipes, Witness 749 describes this lingering temporal echo, a faint feeling of unease, a sense that something is off-kilter with reality, like a glitch in the matrix.
So even if we can't remember these temporal intrusions, maybe there's a part of us deep down that senses something's not quite right.
It's possible. And it brings us to the biggest question of all. If these beings are so advanced, if they can manipulate time and reality itself, why haven't they made more direct contact? What are they waiting for?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Are they just curious observers watching us from afar? Or are they orchestrating events for some grand purpose we can't even comprehend?
And if they can manipulate time, does that mean we even have free will? Are we really in control of our own destiny, or are we just puppets dancing to their tune?
Okay. Whoa, that's a bit heavy. Don't forget, folks, we're dealing with one witness's account here. We need to stay grounded and approach this with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely. But even if we take Witness 749's testimony with a grain of salt, there are still some profound questions to ponder. What if our understanding of time and reality is completely wrong? What if we're just scratching the surface of a much larger and stranger universe than we ever imagined?
These are the kinds of questions that keep me up at night. But I think that's what makes this topic so fascinating. It challenges us to think outside the box, to expand our understanding of what's possible.
And maybe, just maybe, by exploring these possibilities, by questioning everything we thought we knew, we'll get a little closer to the truth. You know, it's funny, right? We spend all this time talking about aliens and UFOs, but what if the real mind-blowing stuff is happening right here, right now with time itself?
It's a total game changer, isn't it? Like suddenly, everything we think we know about history, about the universe, is up for grabs.
And that's both exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. It's like standing on the edge of a precipice, looking out into this vast unknown.
Exactly. We keep coming back to this question of why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Why manipulate time so subtly? Why not just come right out and say, hey, humans, we're here?
Well, maybe that's part of the test. Maybe they're waiting to see if we can figure it out on our own, if we can connect the dots and see the patterns in the chaos.
That's a pretty cool thought, actually. Like we're being challenged to evolve, not just technologically, but also in our consciousness, our understanding of the universe.
I like that. And maybe that's why Witness 749 received that warning from their future self about humanity playing with fire.
Yeah, that stuck with me too. What if by pushing the boundaries of science and technology, we're inadvertently attracting their attention?
It's like we're sending out a signal, a beacon that says, hey, we're getting close to figuring things out.
And maybe that's what they're waiting for us to reach a certain level of awareness before they make more direct contact.
But then there's the other side of the coin. What if they're not benevolent? What if they have some kind of agenda that we're not privy to?
Okay, now you're bringing back the chills. What if we're messing with forces we don't understand and it all backfires on us, like a cosmic Pandora's box?
That's a legitimate concern, and it circles back to the question of free will. If these temporal architects are manipulating time, are we really in control of our own destiny? Or are we just playing out a script that they've already written?
I don't know if I like that idea very much. It's like we're trapped in a giant cosmic movie and we don't even know it.
But here's the thing. Witness 749's testimony also suggests that these architects aren't all powerful. They make mistakes. They leave traces. And that means we might be able to understand their methods to see the cracks in their game.
Okay, so we're not completely powerless. We might be able to figure out how to play the game ourselves.
It's a long shot, but it's not impossible. Think about it. If we could understand how they manipulate time, maybe we could develop countermeasures. Maybe we could even learn to bend time to our will.
Whoa, now you're talking. That's some next level stuff.
Yeah.
Like becoming the temporal architects ourselves.
Exactly. It's a mind-blowing concept, but it's one worth exploring. This whole story, it's a call to action, a challenge to push the boundaries of our understanding and to embrace the possibility that we might be capable of far more than we ever imagined.
It's definitely a lot to wrap our heads around,
Yeah.
but I think that's what makes this show so compelling. We're diving into the deep end of the unknown, and who knows what we might discover.
Absolutely. So keep those minds open, folks. Keep questioning everything. Keep searching for the truth. And who knows, maybe one day we'll crack the code of time travel and come face to face with these temporal architects ourselves.
And on that note, folks, we come to the end of another mind-bending journey into the unexplained. A huge thank you to Julia Jones for guiding us through the twists and turns of this incredible story. As always, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep looking up. We'll see you next time on the True Alien Podcast.